And so if you give them a plan that they feel you are respecting them as a taxpayer, they're probably going to support it. But if you give them a plan that feels like a really big tax impact at a time when their other taxes are going up, then they're going to shoot it down. So again, it's about respecting the taxpayer, getting them involved early in the planning process, and not being afraid to bring in people that were, in the case of New Trier, there was a principal, a retired principal, who was against that measure in 2010. And he was super vocal. And it was one of the reasons it lost. And so when I met with them in the first meeting, I said, who is most vocal? Name the people who are most vocal about this measure. And they said, well, some of the board members were, right? They are the new board members are on our board now, and there was a principal. I said, well, that principal's going to be on our task force. And he ended up being the poster child of the campaign because we listened to him and the others and came up with a plan that respected the taxpayer, and he ended up being a big part of the campaign at the end. So he was, he became a super advocate. Yes?
2 quick questions. When you were doing your data, I heard you say small, crazy community or boundaries.
Well, I didn't say crazy.
But you included all 3 of our communities in that? You were aware of the 3 communities that Familiar encompasses?
Yeah, so
a lot of people they kind of lose the unincorporated area and stuff, thinking it can't be part of it, but it is.
Yeah.
So you had all 3 of those.
Yes.
And then, just quickly, I know what we would, from what our architect has told us, we could build a new school for.
Mm-hmm.
What did New Trier do with $89 million?
What do you mean, what did they do with it?
Did they build new schools?
They gutted, they pretty much gutted the inside of it and then redid it. There's still parts of their school that is dated, but some of the core areas are completely redone. I mean, just kind of state of the art.
In more than one school.
And they put their own monies into it also.
That was one school? They spent $89 million on one school?
Yeah. But these are high schools. I mean, high schools are a different animal.
But they did it to the existing building?
Yes.
How do they do the construction? How long did it take to do this?
2.5 years, and they phased it in, and they had all sorts of different, they moved kids to one part, moved kids to another part, etc.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's where I go back to. There's going to be, I think if you really look at it, there's going to be a ceiling, because although 89 million sounds like a lot, when you look at the actual impact on the schools and the districts around the impact of increase in their tax bill is not as high as you actually think.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
Same thing like the 207s, is the impact, the number is large, but their district is bigger, so the impact is less.
Right, you don't have big commercial property, industrial, and all this stuff that you can benefit from. It's all residential. Yeah,
and I understand the residents. I understand the people who are at the
absolutely.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And sometimes,
ultimately, something has to happen.
Sometimes a new school makes sense, right? Sometimes it makes sense, but you can't push a rope. Sometimes that taxpayer just wants the building fixed. They want the lower cost option. And whether it makes sense or not, it's moot, because you're either going to fix it up somehow or never give it, right?
Right.
Eventually
something has to happen, because
how do you get like a better feel of what they want when they won't respond or don't go out and vote?
Well, if they don't vote,
how many people did vote the last time? And how do we know? We send a survey out. Nobody returns it. How do we know what they want?
Well, usually we'll typically get 8 to 17% response rate. The highest we've ever had is like 32% or something. It was a City Palos Heights, I think, had a really high percentage return. But it's doing a robocall. Hey, please return the blah blah blah. Anyway, we can get them doing meetings prior to it, community meetings. But you're right. So if you don't have a kid in school, the odds of you coming to a meeting unless you're upset about taxes is limited, right? You're not gonna pack the room typically. But you gotta work with what you have. You keep plugging away, trying to get them to respond, and letting them know that you are trying to respect them and let them be part of this planning process early on.
No, I get that. Yeah. I get that 100%.
We could build 2 schools and a condo complex for our teachers for $89
But you have to understand, 89 million was spread out amongst so many more people. the impact of
Right,
the
back
house,
to your point.
right, the impact of the household was not
I
as
know.
substantial. I mean, the same thing with 207.
The impact is tenfold, from 207s to ours,
Yeah.
there's a difference of tenfold difference on the average taxpayer in our district. That's, and that's just my own memory, you do quick math,
Right,
it's a tenfold difference.
Right.
And ours was a quarter of that,
Yeah.
less than 25% of the total, but the impact to the individual is tenfold.
Okay.
Any questions?
George,
Votes for consolidation?
we can give these two.
Just close. I
Okay,
mean,
Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you very much. We're almost done.
it. More than that. I mean, you can go home if you want to do this thing.
Seriously, you're welcome to stay. You are welcome to stay.
You're welcome to stay, but you don't feel like
It's not necessary, right?
to sit here and enjoy it. Okay, action items. Okay, I need a motion to approve the policies 6.6, 6.24, and 6.25.
motion.
Dave, second. Was that? Sheila? Roll call, please.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Mr. Melissa?
Yes. Okay, approval of image learning. Need a motion?
Motion.
Tim, second.
Second.
Bill? Are any questions?
Is that all grades across the board?
No, this is going to be for our EL population, for our primary EL population.
That's what I thought.
Thank you.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Mr. Melissa?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Motion to approve the letter of engagement with Korea Law LLC.
Motion.
Second.
Dave? Any comments, questions? Did I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Nobody? Roll call?
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Mr. Melissa?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the superintendent's contract.
Motion.
Sheila, second.
Second.
Bill? Any questions?
We're done for mine.
Nothing? Roll call, please.
It was all pretty self-explanatory.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Mr. Melissa?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Motion to approve superintendent's participation in the Illinois Association of School Administrators, School for Advanced Leadership.
Motion.
Sheila, second.
Second.
Dave? Any questions?
Good luck, Kristen.
Comments? Good? Roll call, please.
Mr. Melissa?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Okay, need a motion for the appointment of Teresa Sego as the authorized IMRF agent with the Illinois School District 79.
Motion.
Sheila,
Second.
Bill? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder?
Yes.
Mr. Chargent?
Yes.
Mr. Melissa?
Okay, I need a motion to approve the internship of Dr. Jason Klein at the Illinois School District 79.
Motion.
Bill? Dave?
So Dr. Klein is here tonight, so I'm going to let him just briefly introduce himself to the board. Some of you have met him before. He was on our technology committee a couple years ago.
Hi, I didn't know I was going to be introducing myself, so I'll try to be brief. I'm Jason Klein. I have worked in the area generally for about 20 years as a teacher, principal, and at central office, including in District 207. I was previously the assistant superintendent for technology and learning there. I am currently a principal in Palatine and finishing up some additional coursework that needed to be finished. Part of that's an internship, a year-long internship program, and I jumped at the chance to be involved in a wide range of things that Kristen gets to do alongside Gina and the teachers here and with all of you, and so I look forward to hopefully contributing some things to Penoyer over the course of the next school year here. So thanks for the opportunity.
Good luck. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Vance?
Yes.
Can you fix the roof?
I can take the leaves out of the glass. Sounds like it's not gonna help.
I think we need to put them back
Well, yeah, we
in.
should.
Put her back in.
How often will you actually be
I think it depends on the projects that we ultimately are working on. So
Okay.
obviously being a principal at the same time, I mean there's work to be done. So but there will be times that I may be here during the school day, and certainly times meeting with committees and maybe at board meetings, that kind of work, as well as some of the projects we've talked about will frankly require getting some input from some people and just getting some stuff done based on that input for the community. So